You're good.
So, how many of you receive scholarships, grants, or any other kind of financial aid to come? And how many of you still feel like you're paying too much? That's what I expected. So I'm presenting on college tuition and why it should be cheaper. Getting a well-paying job nowadays, you need to get a college education, or it's very difficult if you don't. Nowadays, getting a college degree is viewed much like getting your high school diploma was about 50 years ago. You ask your parents or your grandparents, the biggest thing you could do is get your high school diploma. You're on a great path. Nowadays, it's like that with your college degree. Increased pressure on everyone to get their college degree has led to colleges being able to rise all of their prices while still expecting high enrollment. Students are forced to take out enormous loans to subsidize the debt they take on in the short term so that they can pay it off in the long term. And the loans and the process of going through school put a large emotional and financial stress on the students. Projected 4-year cost over the next 4 years based on this year's tuition for a private school is $129,000. For public school over the next 4 years, it would be roughly over $38,000. In this past single year, it is raised 3.8% for private school and 2.9% for tuition in public schools. That's pretty big in just a year. These figures do not include room and board, meal plans, or any other out-of-pocket expenses. In addition to the cost mentioned above, students spend $765 on average eating at places off campus. I'm sure we can all recognize these places as taking a lot of our money. That's a lot of money at places like this. Even with loans and scholarships and grants and help from your parents, it usually takes about 15 years or more to pay off student loans. And I know that's a lot. That's a long time to have debt hanging over you. It's very stressful, and I don't want to have to deal with that for the next 15 years. Big issue with college prices. There are no jobs, or very few, when you enter the job market. Although the unemployment rate is currently decreasing slowly, it is still risen about 2% over the last 10 years. Right now it's at 7.3%, which you hear a lot of politicians say anything under 8 is right where they kind of want it, but still 7.3% is pretty rough. You see here, that's about 10 years ago. Right there, it's starting to dip a little, but right there is a huge increase. Having a difficult time finding a job with all these loans hanging over you, it makes a tough time making ends meet. Think about what you're going to do after you graduate. You're going to get an apartment, you're going to have to pay rent, you're going to have loans, you're going to be eating a lot of ramen or easy, cheap meals, probably going out to those places that I had shown before, fast food. You're going to have to really scrape by, or if you're lucky enough to find a job, you're still going to have to live within your means with the loans hanging over your head. Possible solutions. A big one that I've been reading about a lot lately is that the government can do more to invest and give incentives to students that study math or science programs. These programs lead to something called STEM jobs. STEM jobs are the fastest growing industry in the world, with math and science and technology going at the rate that it has been progressing at. So I believe that if governments gave incentives, made it a lot cheaper for students that wanted to become business, math, or science majors, that would help greatly. That would also create more jobs for students coming out. If there's more put into the programs, there's going to be more taken out of the programs. There's going to be more innovation, especially in the field of science and technology. And that'll create more jobs, and that'll allow the unemployment rate to shrink down even just a little bit. But I believe the easiest solution would be for colleges, or for the government just to give more general funding to all colleges, all students. This would lower the cost, and this would make higher education more widespread in our nation. And I believe that is very important. We want to be a more innovative society, a smarter society. We want to have an adapt workforce, and we want to compete in the global market. I know we owe China billions and billions of dollars. We owe places all over the world a lot of money. And although we are still the biggest economic power in the world, we have a lot of work to do. It all starts with our higher education, our Our high schools and elementary schools, they've been going through a lot of work, and they've been getting a lot of good progress. But our colleges and our universities, while they are good and they do provide good education, they need to be cheaper to make it more accessible for everybody. In conclusion, college tuition is way too expensive. It needs to be cheaper. Students seeking a higher education shouldn't be punished for, trying to get ahead of the world. It's unbelievable. University expect us to do that. And the government should really seek an opportunity to help us and help them. If we're more educated and we know more and we're more adept workforce, there's going to be more money for them in the long run. And more jobs, more taxes, as much as no one likes to think about it. It just makes it easier to compete in the global market. I believe that lowering the college prices will really make this country a better place to live. Any questions?
Is it practical for, let's do the state of New York, just because obviously you have all these state institutions, and clearly a Siena cannot compete, with the state institutions. But is it a practical solution for the state to come in and then somehow or other, obviously it does subsidize, state and federal government do subsidize private colleges to an extent, which helps to keep it, out there. But is it practical then for the state to come in and reduce our tuition to make us more competitive with them, so to speak? That's the dilemma.
Well, if you look at the government and everyone that holds those higher positions, and you look at their education level, and you see where they're at, I believe that there's more benefits to be had. Higher education, smarter society. In the government, you need a higher job, you need a better education to get higher up. It's just, the plain truth right there. But I think if they make an increased effort to lower our tuition and make it more widespread, really, it can only help our society. It can only help our economy, our understanding of the outside, how to relate with the outside world and all of that.